And I find that in the work I do with spirit, it really helps me. You know, it grounds me. I can draw on a lot of different religions. I can adapt things to different religions. I can make it work.
That's why I went to Interfaith Seminary, the exact same thing, to learn all the aspects and come to the recognition that at the foundation, without the, and I'm going to say the words man-made, because men did this, not women, without
right.
the man-made shit that's added onto it, at the foundation of every religion is love one another and take care of one another. And that's it. Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right. And at the foundation, for me, at the foundation is that one divine power, or two. I kind of believe in two divine powers. I think there's a God and a goddess.
Yeah.
And sometimes I draw on the goddess. Sometimes I call on God. I mean, I had an experience when I was 15, and people say, "Well, do you have faith?" And it's like, no, I don't need faith. I know.
That's it.
And it was from this one experience. I was 15. I was doing some things I probably shouldn't have been doing spiritually. You know, kids are curious. You read a lot of things. And I had read the Satanic Bible, which I thought I didn't agree with, but I read it. And it was on my nightstand. And one night I woke up and I was being attacked by something. And I felt like I was fighting for my soul. Like I felt I was going to die. And I called on God. I said, I need your help. This thing's going to kill me. And my bedroom filled up with this amazing white light. Just unbelievable bright light, but it didn't hurt your eyes. And the second this light showed up, this thing let me go. Mm-hmm. And I sat up in bed, and I'm just, I'm out of breath, and, it's like waking up from a bad dream. And this light kind of almost formed the outline of a man, and it came over to my bed, and it just wrapped itself around me. And I have never felt such love, peace, comfort, just totally non-judgmental, just totally accepting. And then I heard this voice say, "Lay down, child. Angels will watch over you. I'm here. I've got you." And I went right back to sleep. And ever since, that was like a pivotal moment in my life. Ever since then, I said, okay, there's a God. I don't have to have faith in him. I know. And then, I got older. I started to study other religions, but I never lost that moment. And I just incorporate other things into my beliefs because religions are man-made. So I look at the core of the religions and take what I want.
Now, Debbie, did you sense this as a male energy as opposed to, it was a male energy for you?
It was a male energy. Okay, definitely a male energy. It was a male voice.
Okay.
It was not a feminine energy at all. It was like you could feel its power, mm-hmm. but you weren't overwhelmed by it. It was like it was holding back, like it was buffering. Mm-hmm. And because you just couldn't handle it. I don't think you could handle it. I don't think any living person could handle that. And now I find like I buffer my energy a lot too.
Very cool.
Interesting.
So in your time doing exorcism, what do you feel for you was the hardest part of the exorcism? And I'm gonna go somewhere with this. So
the hardest part, I think sometimes for me the hardest part is believing in myself enough and stepping into my own power enough to do it.
That, what, that makes perfect sense, because I always say, Debbie, people a lot of times, and Victor attest to this, I've been called arrogant and conceited and all that stuff when I talk about exorcisms. But what people don't realize is when you're dealing with an exorcism, you have to be. You have to know that you're the best. You have to know that nothing can beat you, okay? And maybe that comes across as arrogant sometimes, but that's helped me 96 times, okay? Yeah. Being so confident in myself, knowing that there's nothing more powerful than me, okay? And that's how I think. Whether it's true or not is whatever, but that's how I think. Now,
it's a mindset.
Absolutely. Now, to me, the hardest part of the exorcism is the end. The violent part is the middle, but the ending is the hardest part. I'm going to tell you why. Vic, and I'd like you to talk on this as well. For me, at the end of the exorcism, whatever I'm dealing with, whatever I'm trying to get rid of, okay, either has the chance to repent and say sorry and be passed to the light, or say, you know what, Chris, screw you, ready to fight to the end, and then I destroy it and I get rid of it. Now, to me, that's the hardest part because I have to be conscious enough to know what's going on at that point. And that's where Victor comes in and he helps me and whatever. But Vic, would you talk on that a little bit? Or do you even agree with what I just said?
See, here's the thing. I've never been in a position where I've processed an energy or an entity form like that. The majority of the work that I've done is passing spirit to light and spirit wanting to go to light and wanting reunification. And in the case of people who are not such nice people in life, looking for rectification on the other side, in the next dimension, next life, whatever you want to call it. I've only seen it happen with you once, that there was a recalcitrant entity that did not want to be passed over, that did not want to find unification again. And you basically said exactly what you did is exactly what you just said. You basically dematerialized it.
Now, see, I find that interesting because I don't give them the choice.
I thought you have to give them the choice. You know why? Because there are spirits that are bad, okay? But sometimes I feel that maybe they don't want to be so bad. And I give you the choice.
If you're dealing with spirit, yes, I'll give them a choice. If I'm dealing with demonic, that's human. It's different. They have no choice. They're gone.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about demonic here. We're talking about negative human entity.
I give them.
Yeah, you have to, and I agree with you with the whole the demonic thing. You have to destroy it, okay? And people always say, where do they go? And I don't know where they go, but I know that they never.
Go either.
But I know that they can never come back. Okay?
Listen, Debbie, Chris and I were talking about this up in Salem, and I think we'd like you to join us on the ground floor of this new business. We've decided to come out with Demon in a Can, and what we're going to do is we're going to take demons, we're going to put them into small urns and sell them on the Internet, and we'll probably make a fortune doing it. So we'll welcome you to join us as a partner on the ground floor.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
That's a joke, obviously, but the thing is, it's been done before, and people made money doing it. And from people who aren't even real exorcists. People know that Victor and I are exorcists. I think they would actually buy it. I mean, of course, it would destroy our name, and we would have absolutely no credibility. Oh. But you can make money doing it because people are gullible.
Yeah, they are. That's the problem.
That is a huge problem.
That's the problem.
So,
we also had Sir Walter Raleigh in the camp, right? Let him out. Never mind. It's an old joke.
Gosh.
That's old.
It's so old.
That's young people. I don't even know that.
Debbie's younger than I am, but she still remembers how bad that is. So.
Yeah.
So I have a question for Reba.
Yeah, Ben.
When eventually you're going to come down to New York, or some type of event, you're going to come down here, and we'll get involved in maybe not exorcism, but maybe some heavy space clearing where we could possibly pass spirit to the light. Maybe it'd be something negative. Would you be willing to be involved in something like that?
Yeah, I do that type of work already. I think we need to make the distinction between exorcism and the respect of demon, like I said, never come in contact. But I'm clearing space for individuals all the time. We're getting rid of negativities and all different kinds of things. So I'm very comfortable in the realm of spirit that way, and I would love to do that with you guys. I think it's going to be fascinating. I'm totally interested in the way you channel. I channel myself. I love that. I just think it's going to be quite the experience, and I think it's what drew me to you in the beginning was because you were so open about the channeling you do. The fact that you had seances in your home or in events, that you had people who had witnessed spirit entering and out. You and I work in a little bit different ways. You talk about exorcisms of negative energy, and, we've got Debbie who's using her Wiccan Christian approaches, and I was raised in a very eclectic home as well. And I know a lot of people out there will disagree with that. I think we all have our own way of working. And for me, I can do a binding if I choose to, and there have been times where I have. And those bindings are part channeled information, part taught information, and probably draw from many different cultures, okay? But when I'm with a client or with an individual, it's just internal. It's happening. I don't have string with me. I didn't bring a Bible. I don't have a cross or an amulet. This is all an internal energy process. And so, I don't know, I'd be fascinated to see how you guys, what you're doing, how that happens with a public or a group of people. I'm always, with the right individuals, yeah. What's that?
No, I was actually going to ask Chrissy a question, but she asked me not to ask it, so I'm going to refrain. But, Vic, I think that if people actually saw what we did when it comes to exorcism, I think they would be surprised that it's not exactly what they see on television, like The Exorcist.
It's not. It's not that violent.
Well, sometimes it is, but sometimes it is. And like I said, I don't know how many you've been involved with, Debbie. I've been involved close to 100 now, and there have been some that have been a little bit violent. But for the most part, a lot of it is mental, believe it or not. Because when you're channeling spirit, there are different. People talk about demons. Okay, I look at demons a different way because, like I said, only 3 have been demonic in my opinion. Okay, but I see demons a different way. I see demons of confusion. I see demons, sexual deviants, which I consider to be sexual demons. When I say demon of confusion, I'm talking about demons that are working on your mind. Like when I'm channeling them, they're making me think different things to get me off my game. There are different types of demons. I think people will be very, very surprised to see what we go through and the process that it takes to get to our final destination of getting rid of the spirit, whatever it is, passing it to the light or absolutely destroying it. I think they'd be very, very surprised at the whole process. What do you think, Nick?
Absolutely. It's first of all, what Chris does and what I assist him in doing is not like anything anyone has ever seen. If you haven't been there, you have no idea what we're talking about. And quite frankly, I don't think we can describe it. I think somebody has to actually see it. One of these days, when we have one, we will videotape it and put it on online.
The last time I did one, right before I got started, the ghost box was on. We hadn't turned it off yet. It's laying on a table. And as I'm walking by it, this voice comes through and says, "You're going to die." And I looked down at the ghost box and I said, "Yeah, I am, but not tonight."
That's right.
There you go.
That's the right attitude. That's exactly what I would have said too.
Love it.
It comes back to the confidence that you have to have when you're doing this. Now, I can't speak for her because she's never done it, but I know Victor, when he comes into an exorcism, there's extreme confidence. He comes across a little bit different than I do. He's more of a quiet confidence. I'm more of an in-your-face confidence, but it's confidence just the same. And
I'm more of a quiet confidence.
Without it, you're done. You give spirit
like 5 or 10 minutes before I start. I go off by myself, and I just have to pull it all in.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, when I tell people when I come back in the house, don't talk to me. Just let me do what I need to do.
River, go ahead. River has a question. Go ahead, River.
Okay, so I got a question for you too, and this is for Vic and for Chris. So you're doing these exorcisms, and you say, when we got one, we'll videotape it for you.